Hey, this is Rob Leo, and in this tutorial we're going to take a look at the Kami Chrome extension as it pertains to Google Classroom. Kami has given us some pro licenses for a limited amount of time, so please note that these features will go away once this crisis is over. But for now, let's just take a look at how Kami can support your teaching and student learning um, as we use Google Classroom. So first, I'm going to show you how to assign a Kami assignment. In other words, I'm going to attach a PDF through Kami and have the students complete it using Kami's annotation tools. We'll look at the student view, how to complete the work, and then we'll look at what the teacher sees to turn it back in. And I'm going to use like an elementary level CKLA assignment to do this. So I'm here in Google Classroom. I'm going to go to my classwork page. And because Kami has been pushed out to all of our users behind the scenes, you should now see when you create, you should now see a Kami assignment. This is useful for when you have PDFs. You won't have to change your PDF to some other format to have students edit it. Students can annotate right on top of it. So again, Kami assignments for PDFs. It may ask for some permissions on your first go around. If that's the case, then just respond in the affirmative as you move forward. You can see that this is for Mr. Leo's class. You can differentiate just like you can in Google Classroom. I have one student enrolled. And then published or draft, you can decide what you want to do with it. I'm going to call this a CKLA PDF. Science teachers, maybe your labs are in Word, maybe your labs are in Google Docs. If you download them and save them as PDFs, then perhaps the students can annotate on top of them to do this kind of work. Open the file. You may have to open with Kami Chrome extension. Complete the work and turn in when you are done. I'm not going to grade this one. We can remove the points, but you'll notice this is very similar to Google Classroom. You can set a due date, you can set a time, you can even set topics. It'll draw from the topics in your class already. Let's call this writing, since I don't have any other topics created yet. I would advise you to pre-create your topics if you're going to use Kami for that purpose. I put this file in my Google Drive, and frankly, you could search the shared drives, and you could find, notice there are shared drives, you could find the K-8 literacy if you're looking for some of this stuff. I already have this stuff in my my drive. I just have to find it. So I'm going to pause this. Bear with me for just a moment. Alrighty, I found it. It was in my coronavirus folder. So it's a CKLA unit, grade 3, unit 4 assessment. So I'm going to attach that. You can see it's attached, and by default, in this case, it's set to make a copy for every student. The same settings are there. Student can, you can share one copy. Student can't edit, they can only view. But unlike Google Classroom, the defaults here is make a copy, and I would recommend that as well. And when you're all set, you're going to assign it. I'm going to pause the video, and when I come back, I'm going to open it up as if I was a student. So we can open this in Classroom for the teacher to see. This is still the teacher view. Again, just like any other Google Classroom assignment, it's here, it's attached, and the students can then work on it. So let's see what a student sees. In fact, I'm not going to pause. I have it open right here. So now I'm in a student account. You can see that the stream has been updated. I can click show, or I can just refresh the page. And now you can see it appears on the stream. You can tell by the clipboard icon that this is an assignment. You can go to classwork and find it there. I put it in writing, so there it is. And you can click view assignment. When the student opens it up, they're going to see their work on the right-hand side. They're going to see their name attached to it because we made a copy for every student. They're going to open it up, and you'll notice at the top of the screen, open with Kami. That is what the student wants to do. And now that the Kami extension has been installed, they may go through a process. And again, it should be allow or accept or whatever the affirmative is when that pop-up appears and says, Kami would like to access your Google Drive and your Google Classroom. Drive fast, take chances, let it rip. and click OK if it comes to down to that at the bottom of the screen. This is a PDF, and Kami's tools are on the left-hand side of the screen. I would encourage you to experiment with these before you assign work to students. There's the comment button. But because it's a PDF, typically we don't type on it. This has a reading activity, and then followed by the reading activity are some assessment questions. One way the student could answer is to use the drawing tools, select a color, and circle their response. Now they're asking for some text. What did each buyer do every time the parrot spoke? Here's where they can use the text box tool. I haven't read the passage, so I apologize. They can insert text boxes. They can continue to do the same throughout the file. Again, you've got another multiple choice. They can switch to drawing. Again, I'm not reading the passage. I'm just answering randomly, so please don't correct my work. If they wanted to, they could write here. The kids have touchscreen Chromebooks, but I don't really recommend it. You can see that the stroke thickness is set to 1. You can change how wide the strokes will be. You can change the colors from a color palette. Let me get rid of this. There's more colors down here. There's a whole bunch to choose from. The kids will probably figure this out without us. You could also draw inside these text boxes instead of using text. Let's pretend the student is all done. They've done the second reading passage and so forth and so on. It's time to turn it in. Notice at the top corner is a button that says Turn In. Nicholas Leo, turn in. It's going to Mr. Leo's class. There's nothing here the student should need to change. They can simply click Turn In. All right, they still have the opportunity to unsubmit it if they're not done yet. Let's see what the teacher sees. So here we are back at Mr. Leo's class. Let's go to classwork. Here's our writing assignments. You can see one has been turned in. Let's open that up. And when we click on the file, notice that the Kami toolbar is at the top of the screen. You can tell you're in the right place. What I would recommend to give feedback, because this box is a little bit small, what you may want to do is, instead of trying to give feedback in this view, notice the little pop-out window with the K next to it. You can pop this out, and now you can give feedback as a teacher. You're going to open with Annotate with Kami. Honestly, I don't know if it's Kami or Kami. As a social studies teacher, I would say Kami, like kamikaze. Kami means divine or spiritual in Japanese. There's your fun fact for the day. But now we have Nicholas's work. You can see his name is at the top of the screen in the title. And as we scroll down, we can see how Nicholas answered the questions. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Maybe I went too far. There we go. Yes, we can see. So you can give feedback here. So the way you would do that is to highlight, and you can see a text box appears. If you don't feel like typing, you can click the microphone and you can use voice typing. This was an excellent choice, comma, Nicholas, period. Types it right in for you. If you prefer, you can give text feedback. If you want to just put a text box on the screen. Give them some clues. You can even change the size of that box. You can even change where it's placed. There are some math tools here for equations. I am not an expert in using any of the symbols, so I will just let the math teachers figure that out. You have, again, comment tools, text-to-speech tools. It's all sorts of stuff that's here. They even have descriptions for each. So if you don't see the descriptions, notice you can toggle back and forth. You can even put it on the other side of your screen if you want, if you think that helps. There's nothing to save here. You can click the save button, but honestly, you are probably, it's probably automatically saving. So all changes have already been saved. I can click Save Now if I want to. So when I'm all set with Nicholas's work, I can just close the Cami field. I can close the PDF of it. And when I return to, oh, we already assigned it. When I return to Nicholas's work, now that I've marked it up, I can click the check mark and I can return it to the student. Put a private comment in there as well that only the student will see. So now this has been returned. Let's take a look and see what the student sees. Actually, I could have done it right here. There's the return button. You can do it on the fly. If you have more than one student, you can navigate with the back and forth arrows from student to student. Oh, I'm sorry. That was interesting. Grade with Cami. You probably want to have that checked so that when you do pop this out, you can grade it with Cami. All right, so it's been returned. Let's look at the student view one more time. I must have closed it. Oh, that is not the wrong link, but let's just, I'm sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'll be right back. All righty, we're back with the student view. We're going to go to classwork. You can see that it has in fact been returned. The student can open it up. They're going to once again open Wakami. And they should now be able to see the teacher's comments. So again, you can see my voice note that was voice to text note is here. My text box is here. So it looks like the student will receive the feedback that you share with them. If the student wants to resubmit, now that it's been returned, they can continue to make changes and they can resubmit at the end. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this useful. But please note once again, before I sign off here, all of these great features, some of them are free, some of them are premium. Right now we have premium, but those features will go away once our trial period ends in about a month. Cami will extend it if need be. But for now, we're looking at about a month's worth of using these great tools. Thanks for listening.